Hello, everyone. Can you hear mo po? Thank you for spending your Wednesday evening with us. Please let me know if clear po ba ako on your end. Type C po if clear and type U if unclear naman. Okay, thank you so much for your feedback. Ayun. So, for those first time sa ating webinar, allow me to introduce myself. I am Monat Pangatungan from First Metro Securities. It is the stock brokerage arm of the Metro Bank Group. And our company is dedicated to promote financial literacy and create awareness on investment opportunities to empower individuals and institutions attain their financial goal. And as a matter of fact, I have experienced, personally, the consistency of First Metro Securities in promoting financial literacy. So back when I was still in college, I joined the stock trading competition organized by the Philippine Stock Exchange and the First Metro Group and SAYAP. So this experience marked the beginning of my investing journey. So I have been in the financial industry for over a decade now, and I am currently the Business Development and Market Education Officer of First Metro Securities. And my licenses allow me to talk about or discuss about UITF, bonds, mutual funds, and stocks. And until now, we continued to conduct this financial literacy session on-site and face-to-face. However, due to pandemic, we shifted to a webinar format, but we are still glad that we are continuously invited by public institutions, private institutions, and even academic institutions that is on top of the monthly webinars that we conduct here in First Metro Security. So it's really amazing how technology enables us to add value wherever you are located. So saan po ba kayo ngayon nanonood ng webinar natin? Anyone here from Cebu? I am from Cebu. Meron ba tayo dito sa Luzon, other area ng Visayas, or sa Mindanao, or even outside the Philippines? Ayun, may maraming Bisaya. We have from Davao, Cebu. Outside the Philippines, we have Europe, UAE. Yes, we also have from Zamboanga and Manila. No, 'di ba? Kahit saang sulok man tayo ng mundo, pwede pa rin kayong maki-join sa ating mga webinar series. And last year, we have conducted a total of 600 talks from basic personal finance to investment, even market update and market outlook. Over 50,000 audience, and we want to reach to as many Filipinos as possible. And we acknowledge that this is the current demographics of stock market investors here in the Philippines as of 2024. So for a country of over 100 million in population, there are now 2.86 million in 2024. So mas mataas na po tayo, more than 50% from 1.91 million in 2023. So this was fueled by a 62% na increase on online accounts. No? Right now, online accounts are at 2.47 million from 1.53 million last 2023. Majority are still in the Metro Manila area, but last 2023, around 70% yan. And right now, Visayas and Mindanao, we are already on double digits. Most of the retail investors are locally employed and even earning less than 500,000 annually. So this data actually show that stock market investing is not really for the ultra rich. So common individuals like you and me can invest in stock market. So for those existing na mga investors or even those not yet investing in the stock market, our webinar this afternoon will be perfect for you as you will learn more on the basic education on stock trading. So who among you here joined the Stock Market 101 or the basic education on stock trading part 1? Kindly type 1 if naka-join po kayo. If wala naman, kindly type 2. Yun, marami ang naka-join sa mga previous sessions. So our session today will serve as a continuation. So sa hindi naman naka-join for the previous na sessions, we do have a webinar recording which we can actually share later, no, para pwede nyo makita yung Stock Market 101 namin at Basic Education and Stock Trading Part 1. So in this session, we will tackle on earning dividends and undervalued stocks. So you are probably excited to learn already and you have questions during the presentation. Feel free to ask in the Q&A of the Zoom panel, and we will answer them later during the live Q&A portion after this presentation. So before we delve into our main topics, let's take a quick look at what is our agenda for today. So this evening, we are going to talk about the following. First one, how do we earn dividend income from stocks? Second, how do we apply the dividend capture strategy? And third, how do we know if the stock is cheap? And lastly, Ms. Angelique Bakay from our Equities Research Division will discuss how to interpret First Metrosec Stock Screen Research Report. And as we embark on this journey together, my goal is not just to present information, but to create an interactive space. So I encourage you to actively learn by participating in the discussion. So mag-chat lang po kayo sa chat box. Kindly prepare your notes, calculators, and make this a collaborative na learning experience. So if you are ready, kindly type ready sa chat box. Yun. Yan, ready na. Marami na ready. So let's start our discussion with this quote from Kevin O'Leary. So he said, I can't even imagine buying a stock that doesn't pay a dividend. Why would you do that? The stock that does not pay a dividend is a speculation, not an investment. So from this, we can actually infer that one of the major considerations ni Kevin when investing in stocks are dividends. So some might agree while others might also disagree. But again, investing is personal. So different type of investors have different investing strategy. There's no one size fits all strategy. So first, let's answer the question, how to earn dividend income from stocks. So the answer is quite simple. You need to own stocks. So again, the dividends are the shareholders' share or parte of the company's profit when the company has net income. And then the board of directors decide if how much portion of that income will be reinvested to the business for it to grow. The funds will be used for the business to grow. Or how much they're going to give back to the shareholders through dividends. So some companies have dividend policy, which indicates the percentage of the net income to be given to the investors. So if it is paid out regularly by stable companies, dividends can be a good source of income. So when it comes to getting dividends, there are 4 important dates to remember. So we have this acronym DERP. So D-E-R-P. So D is for the declaration date. So the declaration date, this is when the board of directors announces the dividend they are going to give for that period. Second, letter E, the ex-dividend date. So this will determine if you are eligible to give dividend or to get dividend. So as the term ex-dividend suggests, you are not entitled to receive dividend. So parang ini-equivalent ko din siya sa expired na. So parang hindi ka na entitled for the dividend pag nasa expired date or the ex-dividend date. So if you bought the stock on that date, you are no longer entitled of the dividend. However, if you bought it a day before the ex-dividend date and you decided to sell it on the ex-dividend date, you are entitled to receive the dividend. Pero whoever bought the shares from you will not receive the dividend. So this might be confusing right now, but don't worry, I'll show a concrete example later to see how this progresses. And then the third letter, we have R, or the record date. So this is when the company lists all the eligible shareholders. So for the newbie investors, this is a common source of confusion as they think they should own the stock on the record date. So as discussed, we know that the reference to be eligible to receive the dividend is the ex-dividend date. And lastly, or the payment date. This is when the company disburses the dividend. So please take note that it will take a day or two before this will be credited to your respective First MetroSec account. So we have here an example from Meralco or Manila Electric Company. So in your First MetroSec account, you can look at the dividend history of a stock. So you can easily navigate to research and then indicate the ticker code MER or for the Meralco. And then you can click div history for the historical dividend that you can see whether it's stocks, cash, split, or rights. And then you can also see here yung ex-date, record date, at saka yung date payable. So if they regularly give dividend, you can check the historical schedule. Ito. So magkaka-idea na kayo when yung possible na dividend ng isang stock. So again, when you own the stocks to be entitled, you need to own the stocks that you are entitled for the dividend. It should be a day before the X date or by the close of the trading day before the X dividend date. So here we plotted the 4 different dates for Meralco. We have the declaration date on July 28. And then the X date on August 26, record date on August 27, and then September 22 is the disbursement date or the releasing of the payment. So let's have here some questions. So please answer on the chat box. Again, when should you own Meralco to get the latest dividend? When should you own Meralco to get the latest dividend? So we have already answered before August 26, August 25. Okay. So may answer na iba pa rin. May 27, may 26. Okay. So yung correct answer po is by the close of August 25 trading day. So again, para malaman mo na entitled ka sa dividend, kailangan mong ma-identify kung ano yung X date. So a day before X date, dapat stockholder ka pa. So that's closing date na August 25. So tama yung nag-answer ng August 25 or before August 26. Next. If you sold Meralco on August 27, will you still get that dividend? So for example, you bought it on August 25 or 23 and then you sold it on August 27. Yun, majority. Yes, isa lang yung nakita kong nag-no. So yung tamang sagot is yes. Again, for as long as you are a stockholder on August 25, end of day, kahit you sell it on 26 or 27, you are still entitled to receive the dividend. Next question. So whoever bought it from you on August 26 or on the ex-dividend date, will they get the dividend? Yes or no? Okay, so pareho lahat yung answer nyo. And that is correct. You are no longer entitled to receive the dividend. So we have here, what if I sold it on 26? I bought it on August 25, which is the basis kung entitled ka ba or hindi, and then sold it on August 26, then you are entitled to receive the dividend. Para yun sa nag-question sa chat box. Number 4, if eligible, when should you expect to get the dividends? If eligible, when should you expect to get the dividends? Okay. Yes. May nag-consider dito ng 1 to 2 days after September 22. So based on the screen, it should be on September 22. But then again, it will take a day or two, depending of the payment made, if nag-check disbursement ba or bank transfer yung binigay ng stock transfer office. Next question. Yun, September 22. We have another stock here. When should you own RCR to get the latest dividend? When should you own RCR to get the latest dividend? Okay, tama. Before August 22, within the trading day of August 21. And in terms of how much you will receive, you just check here, yung sa cash na column. Here. May nagtanong sa chat box, how much daw if you want to know magkano ang dividend. Just check here kung magkano yung dividend per share. Tapos multiply it with the number of shares na meron ka. So again, yung tamang sagot, when should you own RCR to get the latest dividend? It's August 21. Another question. You bought RCR shares last August 22, sold on August 21. August 25. Will you still get the dividends? Oh, may nag-yes, may nag-no. So here, the answer is no. Pag binili mo siya on X date, you are no longer entitled. Tapos may nakita akong nag-comment as to what if holiday? So, like a day before the holiday. So, let's say yung sa X date, August 21, dapat stockholder ka ng RCR. So, dapat by August 20, may stock ka na ng RCR kasi August 21 was holiday. So, pag holiday, back ka ng isang day. So, you focus on the trading day. Same with the weekend. Yes. So, pag Saturday yung a day before the X date, kuha ka on Friday. Next question. If you own 1,000 RCR shares and sold on August 22, how much dividend will you receive? Okay, so we have may nag-answer ng none, meron din nag-answer ng 104.9. So the answer here is 104.9. So you just multiply 1,000 shares sa 0.1049. So here, you sold it on August 22, assuming you have bought it on August 20 or 19. Okay. We have another question. What if you sell it 2 weeks before the X date, are still entitled to receive dividend? No. Yung basis lang po talaga is dapat stockholder ka a day before the X date. Where can you find the X date? Again, in your First Metrosec na account, just click po the research tab. It should be here. Nakat lang siya sa upper left portion. And then indicate the ticker code and then check the dividend history. So makikita nyo dito yung latest na release ng declaration of the dividends. Yes, that is in pesos po. 104.90 and gross pa siya. So subject to 10% withholding tax. So if you are entitled for the dividend, when will you receive the dividend? So if you are entitled for the dividend, when will you receive the dividend? So we have already, okay, may nag-or. So on the screen, it's September 2, but then again, within 1 to 2 banking days before siya makredit sa First Metrosec account nyo. So the answer here is September 2, but please, again, allow 1 to 2 banking days for it to be credited to your account. So after learning how we can be entitled to receive dividends, the next question naman is, how much will be our dividend yield? So to calculate for the dividend yield, we just simply divide the dividend declared by the stock price you bought and then multiply, divide it by the dividend that you received divided by the stock price that you bought it and then multiply it by 100% or the 100 para in percentage na yung answer nyo. So this is still gross because dividend is subject to 10% na withholding tax. So let's have here an example for better appreciation. We have Jollibee. For the past 12 months or trailing 12 months, it has provided 3 pesos and 15 cents to its stockholders. And then, yung sa stock price naman niya, it's 235 pesos. So you just simply divide 315 over 235 3 pesos and 15 cents over 235, and that is 1.34%. Next. So let's look at another example. So this time we have Meralco as the second example. Dividend per share, it's 35.36 for the past 12 months. The stock price is 546 per share. What is the dividend yield? So you just simply divide 35.36 divided by 546. Noon may ma-answers na. 6.47, 6.48. Okay, so round off. 6.476 or 6.48%. Correct? Thank you for those who participated. Para naman hindi na kayo mag-calculate, in your First Metrosec account, you can conveniently see this data by navigating, no? Research, and then indicate the ticker code. Tapos, dito lang sa summary, parang default niya na page when you indicate the ticker code. Tapos, makikita nyo yung dividend yield, 6.48. Okay? So remember, there's always a trade-off from our there's always a trade-off, no? Yeah, from our Stock Market 101 webinar, we learned that the company has net income. The board of directors can decide how much will be reinvested back to the business for growth and how much will be given back to the shareholders in the form of dividend. So thus, the companies that are generous with the dividends tend to grow less quickly compared to those who are less generous. So those less generous na mga companies, they tend to grow more quickly. So that is the trade-off. Let's have another example for the dividend yield. So what is the dividend yield for this example lang na stock? 1.20 for the past 12 months yung dividend niya. Stock price, let's say 9 pesos and 10 cents. So hypothetically, the stock will give you, what's the rate? Napaka-attractive, no? 13.9. and you will buy the stock at 9 pesos and 10 cents, you will receive 13.19%. So you may find this attractive since this is way above the average na mga dividend, no? Kanina nakita nyo with Jollibee around 1 to 3%. But before jumping into purchasing this stock, you need to be prudent enough to ask yourself mga certain questions. Bakit kaya ito nagbibigay ng masyadong mataas na dividend? So why is it higher than the average na dividend? So let's have this one question. So from the equation, there are two possible scenarios. First, yung dividend declared could have increased. So the increase in the numerator and consequently your dividend yield, this might actually be a good sign because an increased dividend begs the question, did the company have higher earnings or profits? So if you answered both to those questions, do you think this is a good opportunity? So this can be a good opportunity since we like business who have higher earnings and profitable. Another scenario that the increase of dividend yield, no, is when the stock prices or the stock price declines. So when your numerator, or rather the denominator decreases, your dividend yield increases. So do you like to invest sa isang stock na declining yung stock price or declining yung price trend niya? So of course, ikaw personally, ayaw mo kasi the yield might be attractive, pero the decline in the stock prices implies there is a weakening demand sa stock. And there might be a further downgrade pressure. So it might be prudent to wait until yung price action niya manifest otherwise. So pag nag-recover na yung price niya. So when we look at this price chart of this hypothetical stock, we can clearly see that in 2021 that it declined, likely due to underperformance of its business segment or possible effect of the elevated inflation or even excise taxes to other business segments. So yung point ko lang po talaga dito is to be aware of the yield trap. So ask yourself these questions. Do you think the company will be able to sustain this yield? And could they continue to produce the same or greater level of earnings or profits and consequently dividends? Or will they probably cut it? So next, is the company struggling causing the prices or the share price to fall? Para hindi na po kayo mag-compute ng dividend, I am showing you how to use the platform wherein you can see po the dividend yield here. So again, on the landing page, click quotes, stats, and then analytics, fundamentals, tapos dividend yield. So every day, updated po yung dividend yield natin dito. So to know if the stocks are paying dividends, diba, you may check the history of the dividends. You may check the platform ng First Metro Sec. Or aside from that, you may also check the dividend policy. So saan ba natin makikita yung dividend policy ng isang company? You may check their website. So I have here example, we have RCR. They have a designated portion ng website nila indicating the dividend policy. So here, I highlighted yung committed na dividend distribution nila, 90% of their distributable income. And we have another example, Jollibee. This is a Jollibee group na website. And then the cash dividend policy, it's 1/3 of the Jollibee group's net income. Okay? So next, after learning all of those, the dividend yield, the DERP rather, I'm going to show to you this dividend capture strategy. So this is a short-term strategy to capture attractive dividend opportunities. So we have here an example from Cebu Pacific, Cebu Pacific or CEB. This is last May 20, 2019. CEB declared 2 pesos na regular dividend and 5 pesos na special dividend. So on the declaration date, the stock closed at 84.70 pesos. So 7 pesos, 2 plus 5, 7 pesos na total ng dividend na ibibigay niya divided by 84.70, that's 8.26%. So after the declaration date, that's May 21, the price jumped to 86.10. So yield, since nag-iba yung price, it's now down to 8.13%. And then it closed at 88 pesos. So the updated yield now is at 7.95%. And then CEB continued to rally. So on June 7, 2019, the closing price now is 93 pesos. 93.30 pesos. This is the a day before the X date. So yield at this price is 7.50%. So on the X date, price now is at 89 pesos. No, nag-decline siya. And then yield, of course, it's 0 kasi hindi ka na entitled to receive dividend when you buy stock on the X date. So with this, how do we apply the dividends capture strategy? So you should have bought on May 21. No, you bought it May 21 at 86.10. Since you got that, so since you are just after the dividend, you can sell it on the X dividend date, which is 89 pesos. So for this trade, you buy at 86.10, sold it at 89 pesos. You still have a capital gain of 2 pesos and 90 cents, or that is equivalent to 3.36% plus a dividend of 7 pesos or 8.13% in terms of your yield. So you simply buy the stock before the X date and sell it on the X date. Yung tricky part lang talaga ng dividend capture strategy is to ensure that by the time you sell it, it is at least break even or higher by, on the price that you bought it. Para may capital gain ka pa in the dividend. So let's try to implement that dividend capture strategy with Meralco. So parang review siya. So these are examples of dividend capture strategy, except, is it A, you buy Meralco on August 24 and sell on August 26? Letter B, you buy Meralco on August 25 and you sell it on August 27? Or letter C, you buy Meralco on August 26 and sell on August 27. So these are examples of the dividend capture strategy, except as alin dito ang hindi. So we'll check kung may naka-answer ba. Ayun. May answer. Majority nag-answer ng letter C. Okay, so correct. The answer is letter C. You buy MER on August 26. So hindi ka na entitled dito sa dividend. So this is not a dividend capture strategy. When you bought it on August 24, when you bought it on August 25, you sold it on August 26 or August 27, entitled ka sa dividend. And now how about on RCR? How to implement the dividend capture strategy for RCR? Is it A, you buy RCR on August 21 and sell it on August 22? Letter B, you buy RCR on August 22 and sell it on August 26. Or letter C, you buy RCR on August 26 and sell it on September 2. May dalawang answer or baka na-typo. So majority answered letter A. And that is correct. So this is a dividend capture strategy when you buy RCR on August 21 and sell it on August 22. So aside from, there are actually different dividends, no, aside from the cash dividend. So for better appreciation, I have here two example ng stock. We have Metrobank and Robinsons Land. So in 2019, Metrobank paid cash dividend of 1 peso per share and 13% na stock dividend. So if eligible ka, meron kang stock a day before the ex-date and you own 1,000 shares of Metrobank, so you receive 1,000 pesos as cash dividend plus additional na 130 shares on stock dividend. In the same year, Robinsons Land Corporation provided cash dividend 50 cents per share and a property dividend rate of 1 APV, that's Altus Property Ventures Inc. shares for every 51.93 na Robinsons Land Commercial REIT. Robinsons Land Corporation rather. So you should receive 260 pesos for the cash dividend, whereas property dividend, may 10 APV shares ka in terms of stock dividend. Okay? So you own 520 na RLC shares. You will receive 260 pesos as cash dividend. And then for the APV, you just simply divide 520 divided by 51.93. That is 10 APV shares. So moving on, let's start this with another quote, no, from Warren Buffett. So it's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. So tingnan natin how much is your stock worth and how will you identify if it is cheap or expensive. So how much is your stock value? There are two answers to this question. Let's have one example here. The market price at 7.07. So the second way to determine the stock value is based on book value per share. So you will get the book value per share by just dividing book value over the outstanding shares, or the book value is equivalent lang sa asset minus liabilities over the outstanding shares. So if sa First Metro Securities na platform and then gusto mo talagang malaman kung magkano ba yung book value at saka yung outstanding shares para ikaw mag-compute ng book value per share. Again, dun ka sa research tab, indicate the ticker code. Punta ka dito sa valuation. Ito, identified na yung book value, but this is on financial statement year 2024. Tapos, you can see here as well the outstanding shares. You just divide, no? 294,373 divided by the outstanding shares, and that is 33.05. Para hindi ka na mag-compute. Dito lang siya na row. So, market price, it's 7.07. However, book value per share, it's 33.05. So, paano mo naman malaman if stock is cheap or not? So to answer that, I am going to introduce to you the price to book ratio. So gagamitan natin yung market price and book value per share. So you just simply divide market price over book value per share. We have here AGI, market price at 7.07, book value per share na kinompute natin, it's 33.05. So you just simply divide 7.07 divided by 33.05. So, yung price to book ratio natin is 0.21. Ano ba yung implication if the price to book ratio is less than 1? We know that the stock is trading below its book value per share. So there might be an opportunity to buy this share since the market is discounting what the books are actually telling you. Kindly compute for Ayala REIT. What is the price to book ratio for A-REIT? Market price divided by book value per share. What is your computation? Ayun. May 1.28, may 1.9, may 1.29. Okay. Answer here, it's 1.28. So the ratio is around 1. So we know that the stock is trading around its book value per share. So parang fair price siya. Next, PLDT or TEL. Market price is 1,225 and then the book value per share is 534.29. What is your price to book ratio? Okay. You have the same. The same yung mga answers nyo. 2.29. Okay. That is correct. 2.29. So since the stock is more than 1, so relatively it's higher compared to its book value. So you're actually buying it at a premium. So if we compare AGI, Ayala REIT, and TEL, AGI is cheaper compared to its book value per share. A-REIT, fair. However, PLDT, it's actually at a premium. You're buying it at a premium relative to its book value per share. So to recap, if the price to book ratio is below 1, the stock is trading lower or higher its book value per share. Kindly type your answer. Again, if the price to book ratio is below 1, the stock is trading lower or higher its book value per share. Yes, you've got it correctly. Same answers kayo sa nag-feedback. That is lower. Next, if the price to book ratio is above 1, the stock is trading lower or higher its book value per share. Above 1. Okay, that's correct. That is higher. So please do note that this is just one of the many na mga fundamental metrics and methods to determine the cheapness of the stock. So some stocks almost never trade below 1 since there are still investors that willing to buy it at a premium. There are also stocks that are frequently traded below 1 as the market still undervalues them and yet to gain price momentum and demand. So for you not to compute the price to book ratio, I will share to you where you can actually access it. So once you are on the landing page, just click quotes, stats, analytics, fundamentals, and then price to book ratio. So ito siya. At what I like about this is you can actually sort highest or lowest. So makikita mo kung ano ba yung stock na lowest yung price to book ratio if you have PSEI lang na mga stocks or if may mga nasa watchlist ka na stocks pwede mo din masort kung ano yung may pinakamababang price to book ratio or may pinakamataas. So if you would like to also screen growth stocks with cheap valuation or stocks that generate above average na mga yield, our stock screen research report can actually help. And we are grateful and honored that the member of our equity research division joined us in this discussion. So she will discuss more about this report. And let me just introduce her. Ange is an alumna of the University of Santo Tomas, wherein she finished her bachelor's degree in business administration, major in financial management in 2018. And she entered the corporate finance industry in 2021 as a research analyst at a fintech firm, where she was exposed to different sectors in the market. Ange joined First Metro Securities in 2024 to pursue a career in equity research and expand her knowledge in the local capital market. She is currently under the institutional department where she covers the consumer sector. So without further ado, let's all welcome our equity research associate, Ange Bakay.
Thank you for the introduction, Ms. Moneth. Hi, everyone. Good evening. And let me share my screen first before I proceed with the discussion. So basically, I'm just here to feature one among our many reports in our platform. So that's your stock screen. Maybe, Ms. Moneth, just asking for your confirmation if my screen is sharing already.
Yes. Yes, Ange.
All right. Okay. All right. So again, hi everyone. Good evening. I'm Ange, Equity Research Associate from First Metro Securities, and I'll quickly share with you our stock screen report. So the stock screen is one of the many reports that we from the research team produce, and it's available on the First Metro Sec platform. This is actually designed for investors who rely on key financial metrics in making decisions. It serves as a stock screener that automatically filters listed companies and highlights those that outperform based on specific criteria. So, paano ba or saan hahanapin yung stock screen sa platform? So, this one I'm showing you right now is a screenshot of the First Metro Sec My. So, you just go to the research tab and then First Metro Sec. You go to, once you click on the First Metro Sec, this is what you will see. And on the rightmost part, you can see here the stock screen. But this part, it's only limited to a few months. So if you want to look at the other stock screen reports for the previous years as well, what you can do is click on all reports, all types, and then stock screen. And then upon clicking that, you will see all of the stock screen reports that we have published in the past. Okay, so going back to the actual stock screen report, it actually showcases three model portfolios tailored to different investment styles. You have Riding the Flows, Unloved, and Yield Seeker. So how do we filter the companies that we include in our report? For our methodology, we maintain a stock screen universe, which are selected from all securities that are included in the MSCI Investable Market Index, PSEI, PSE Midcap, and PSE Dividend Yield Index. We run the filters on a monthly basis, wherein our cutoff date is set on the last trading day of the month. We have a third-party data provider, Refinitiv, which provides us the data. All our figures for this report come from them, except for the target prices of our covered stocks, which is from us. So again, the data coming from the Refinitiv, we filter them out using our screener. So as mentioned earlier, the stock screen takes into account three different investment styles. I think in the previous sessions of BEST, the first two were tackled, the Riding the Flows and Unloved. For Riding the Flows, just a recap, these are your highly traded growth stocks, as our stock screen filters companies with high EPS growth, liquidity, and foreign momentum. You also have the Unloved screener. We take a look at companies with high EPS growth, meaning these are your fast-growing stocks but with low PE, meaning the market is undervaluing them. So for this session tonight in particular, I will be discussing with you our Yield Seeker screener. This is our dividend play screener, the yield seeker. As the name implies, this investing strategy is for those who want to invest in quality stocks with high dividend yield. For this one, we take a look at two financial metrics. First, you have the dividend yield. The dividend yield measures the dividends of the company relative to current market or stock price. You also have the dividend CAGR. It is a way to measure the average annual growth of an investment, where in this case, a high yield stock over a period of time, assuming profits are reinvested. It's good to note that consistent dividend payments from a company indicates a certain level of financial stability. Additionally, if companies are able to frequently increase their dividend payments, then this may be a sign of financial stability and growth. Another factor that we consider, though not a financial metric, is the 2-year Philippine bond rate, which serves as a lower risk benchmark. At that time that we ran our filter, the bond rate was around 5.7%. So most of the stocks included here actually offered higher yields than 5.7%. So applying the idea, our stock screen will filter out companies with high dividend yield and dividend CAGR. It is a dividend play for investors who want a stable stream of dividends. So just quickly showing here the process or the steps that we follow. First one, we screen our universe. This meaning these are our covered companies. These are actually mainly PSEI stocks and some names not listed in the PSEI, but we closely monitor. So we look at their dividend yields that are above the 2-year Philippine bond yield as of the cutoff date. After that, those stocks that meet the criteria in step 1, we rank them based on consensus forecast dividend growth, 2-year CAGR. And then the last step would be we filter those stocks and rank them according to the highest average daily value turnover in the past 3 months. So this is from our August 2025 stock screen report. Shown on your screens are these are the top 5 that appeared in our filter. So aside from the stock appreciation, these stocks can generate above average dividend yields. Among the names that we have here, you're looking at the top 5. There's MBT, which tops the list, followed by Globe, PLDT, RCR, and then AREIT. So maybe I'll discuss them a bit, starting off with Metrobank. Our screener forecasts 6.1% FY25 F dividend yield and 5.5% FY26 F dividend yield. For Metrobank's dividend policy, they do pay out twice a year, regular cash dividends. So, sa isang taon, 3 pesos yung pinipay out nila. They split it. So, first half of the year, they will give 1.5 pesos. And then the next half of the year, that's going to be another 1.5 peso. So, for this second half of the year, I think they recently announced cash dividends. It will be paid out on September 23 for shareholders on record as of September 8, 2025. And then just quickly on MBT, their capital ratios remain healthy, meaning that dividend payments are sustainable while also supporting growth of the bank's loan book. For Metrobank as well, we do not cover the stock since it's like our grandparent company. So we're not actually allowed to cover, but we do have a partner from Singapore, that's DBS Bank of Singapore. They do have coverage on MBT, and I think they have a buy call on the stock with a fundamental target price of 77 pesos. And then moving on to Globe, if you look here, you can see that FY25 F dividend yield for Globe is 6.1%. And for 2026, that's 6.5% dividend yield. If you ask what's the dividend policy of the company, so that's around 60 to 90% of their previous year's core net income. That's where they get their dividend from, and that's how they package it. So historically, Globe pays out 4 times a year regular dividends. I think the most recent one that they disclosed was for shareholders on record as of August 19, so lipas na siya. But the dividends would be paid out on September 4. But I think that's the third of the year, so I guess there's gonna be another one towards the end of the year. Also on Globe, management targets positive free cash flow by the end of this year, supported by lower capex. So this supports Globe's outlook on sustained dividends despite facing headwinds in earnings. Next one you have TEL, that's PLDT, FY25 dividend yield of 7.6% and 8.1% for 2026. So if you actually compare the three, baka tanongin nyo, bakit top 3 lang si PLDT mas mataas yung dividend, yung projected dividend yield niya at 7.6% and 8.1%. Kasi again, hindi lang naman yung projected dividend yield yung tinitingnan natin. May ibang factors na yung na-mention kanina na tinitingnan. Meron din yung CAGR nga na for between 2024 and 2026 F. And according to that, mas lamang pa rin si Metrobank and si Globe. Okay, anyway, going back to TEL, dividend policy niya 60% of core net earnings. And then historically, twice a year din siya nagpe-pay out ng dividends. The most recent one that they have disclosed would be for shareholders on record as of August 28th and then would be paid out on September 10th. Management targets positive free cash flow also by 2026, and this would be supported by lower capex and monetization of assets. Early in the year, we recommended TEL actually as a dividend play. It continues to show one of the highest dividend yields among stocks under our coverage. And then the top 4 and top 5, you have your REITs, RCR, and AREIT. REITs or your real estate investment trusts are mandated by law to pay dividends. And that's at least 90% of its distributable income must be paid out to shareholders. So mandated by law yun. Whatever happens to the company, they should pay out dividends 4 times a year to their shareholders. For RCR in particular, that's 5% and 6.1% dividend yield for 2025 and 2026 F. Historically, around 0.1 peso per quarter yung pinipayout ni RCR. We also like RCR because of its potential inclusion in the PSEI on February 2026 rebalancing. We also created or we made a report regarding that, and if that's something you want to read on some more, that's available on the First Metro Sec platform. And then lastly, you have here a REIT, 5.8% and 6.5% dividend yield for FY 2025 F and FY 2026 F based on our screener. Historically, a REIT pays out around 0.5 centavos per quarter. We also like a REIT because it is the largest REIT in terms of market cap in the Philippines. In our view, bigger is better in the REITs universe, and we think that a REIT will continue to grow as its sponsor, Ayala Land, continues to infuse assets to a REIT. So yeah, I think that's about it for my part of the presentation. And then just showing here that our screeners, the Riding the Flows, Unloved, and Yield Seeker, if you compare their performance versus the PSEI, these like peach lines here, our screeners actually outperform the PSEI. So that's between September 2023 to August 2025. Yeah, so that's it for my part of the presentation. I hope I was able to share valuable knowledge to everyone, and I hope this is something that could help your investment and trading strategy. Those stocks that I've shown you, siguro pwede nyo silang i-consider for your next investments. Yeah, and again, this report is called the Stock Screen, and you can easily access this in our FMS platform through the Research tab. My name is Ange. Thank you everyone for joining this session and good evening. Over to you, Ms. Mane.
Thank you for that, Ange. Let me just reshare my screen. Okay, so to summarize the 4 things that we have discussed, no? How do we earn from dividend income from stocks? know again the DERP, declaration, ex-date, record date, and payment dates in the dividend yield. Tapos, how to apply the dividend capture strategy, buying a stock just before the ex-dividend date to get the dividend and then sell it shortly after if you are into active trading. And how do we know if the stock is cheap? We have price to book ratio. If it's less than 1, it means lower or below the book value per share. If 1, fair lang yung value niya sa stock market price and the book value per share. Whereas it's more than 1, you're buying the stock at a premium or higher siya than the book value per share. And earlier, shared by Ange, our stock screen report. So before we move on no, sa Q&A portion, allow me to discuss few things lang about First Metrosec. So first thing to do for you to invest into dividend capture strategy, you must have your own account. So consider opening a First Metrosec account. This is a powerful na account no because you're not only investing in stock but you can also have the opportunity to invest in bonds and even treasury bills, mutual funds, and UITF. Aside from that, being a powerful na investment account, you make sure that you partner with the best. We have been awarded as the best online broker and best online trading platform for 8 years in a row now. And for those who have not yet opened the First Metrosec account, either you open sa website namin, just visit www.firstmetrosec.com.ph or you may scan the QR code, accomplish the forms online, and then upload the required documents like government issued ID, proof of residence, proof of bank account, and then tax identification number and your 1,000 pesos na initial funding that you can actually use na as a buying power once your account is already activated. And please do not forget to use the seminar code dividend invest best 2 rather for the when you open a First Metrosec account. And feel free to connect with us in our social media channels. Just search at First Metrosec. You may scan the QR code or have a screenshot of this slide. Our main website is at www.firstmetrosec.com.ph. If you have any questions or concern, especially to your account, just email us at customerservice@firstmetrosec.com.ph. So on our socials, we have the YouTube channel. So if ever hindi nyo nakita yung basic education on stock trading part 2 and the stock market 101, you may check our webinar recordings dun sa YouTube channel namin. And we are also inviting you on the third part of our basic education on stock trading. So it is focusing on the technical analysis that will be on September 2. So to join or to register, just scan the QR code. Okay? And you can also invite us for free and exclusive na tailor-made gamified learning program or experiences for your company, school, or organization. Just email us at marketeducation@firstmetrosec.com.ph.